Alright, and we are back. This is Owen, streaming some more Pokemon Reborn. So, last time, we got, well, fairly royally trounced by the gym leader, needless to say. So, we need to do some serious rethinking on what we're doing here. Alright, so, I went ahead and looked through the box and kind of pulled out some Pokemon that I thought might, maybe be helpful in this upcoming battle. And so I'm going to go through the list and maybe make a determination as to maybe if any of these are worth training up to maybe cover the whole. So, in order, we have good old trusty Steve. It's been a while since we've utilized him, yeah, he's double resistant to fighting type moves, so while he isn't going to be great against, like, the majority of them, it's a consideration. Birdman, from, I don't know, like episode 2 or 3 or something, whatever we call it this thing, is also a consideration. It is neutral to fighting attacks, and it does have a weak special attack. However, the reason that it comes up is because it has Keen Eye and Gust. Gust, on this particular field, as it turns out, tends to lower accuracy on both sides, but since it has Keen Eye, it's only going to affect the opponent, which means that we can kind of turn Gust in similar, like, wind-based attacks, like, Razor Wind or whatever, into sand attacks. So that's something to consider. Although it will not work on the Machamp, interesting to note, because Machamp has no guard. Beatrix also double resistant to fighting types. Other interesting point too is that it also has a Sniper and a positive attack stat. So while this thing will never be able to take a hit, its criticals do deal more damage, and you can ensure you get a critical hit with the Telluric Seed. We have Ermac, who would be useful just because it is a Psychic type. Which means it has access to, like, Psybeam. Light Screen as well is also kind of decent against the sweeps from Lucario. We have the Shine, which you may remember is our shiny Diglett. The reason that we were considering this one is because it has a positive speed nature, so it has a really good nature, and it has Sand Force. Apparently on the beach, Sand Force is always active, so for that reason, both Blue and the Shine are actually in consideration for Pokemon that we may want to consider utilizing, with probably more of a leaning towards the Shine. We're probably not going to use Olivier. It's just too bad. It's actually 4 times weak to fighting, so that's not something that we're considering. Seltzer is, I believe, resistant to fighting, so that's something that we can consider, although Seltzer does have a pretty poor stat line, and with no real way to evolve it, it's not something that's really on my radar right now. Nefertiti, on the other hand, does not need to evolve into a Dusclops, but a Duskull would be just fine. It unfortunately has kind of a poor nature, making its attack lower and speed greater when these are things that it does not really care about. But it is a ghost type, which means that it's going to be pretty strong. Plus it has Will-O-Wisp, which is just kind of okay at kind of reducing incoming damage. So given that it is resistant, I might be able to get, frisky with it. Alternatively, we can also just kind of level up Gamera, which is something that I was thinking about doing anyways. Since it is protected from critical hits, and it's the kind of Pokemon that we could just, if it's high enough level, could just, given that I believe it's resistant, I'm actually not 100% sure. Turtonator. Let's look at Turtonator really quick and see what it actually is resistant to. So it's actually a normal hit from fighting, so it's not something that we're like dying to level up right now. So that's kind of where I'm at on that. 1-Up again was not particularly impressive last time, and given that her final Pokemon has an ice attack, I'm not super excited to try and get on board with that. Other than that, that's kind of where we're at. So I'm kind of unsure where I want to go as far as like leveling up is concerned. My major concern is that even if we level these Pokemon up, they're just not going to be particularly great with their EVs. And with Birdman in particular, the main method of attack that I would want to use is not going to be particularly effective, just because it has a lower special attack anyways. So, given that I want to spend the time to level up somebody, I'm kind of at an impasse as to what I should be going for. So, yeah. That's kind of where I'm at. Sagiri. I think Sagiri is resistant. Alright, let's check out Garbodor. Alright, so Garbodor is resistant. The thing with Garbodor, though, is that its stats are just kind of pretty mediocre overall. I could try and, like, level this thing up, get its defenses up, and then try to kind of lean on the Toxic Spikes or something. Or maybe try and Toxic. But I'm not going to hold my breath. I don't see it really panning out all that well. Same thing with Toru. Toru would be resistant, or would have special effective against the fighting types, but it's 4 times weak to ice, and because her last Pokemon is Ice Punch, there's no way I could chance that. I didn't consider Garlic Jr. though. I think Steel is weak, if I remember right. So I don't think it's going to be a fantastic choice, but it's worth investigating. Certainly. So yeah, it is weak to fighting. So that's not really where we want to be. Man, Unagi is also not looking particularly impressive. Just nothing about what it's doing is really all that helpful. So I'm kind of stuck between these two here, I guess. I guess I could also try Ermac and see if that's helpful at all. Minus speed plus special, or I'm sorry, minus speed plus defense. Ermac would have a long way to go, certainly, before it's useful. Although its stats would be pretty good. The thing is, like with Steve and Beatrix, I just don't anticipate that they're going to be able to have the defense necessary to actually take a hit. There's a possibility that Ermac would. Certainly. I don't know. I'm really kind of stuck. I think that the last fight was pretty close. I think that there's a possibility that we would have made it through had Cheeky not leveled out. So we may want to consider using a common candy before our next battle, just to make sure that it doesn't over-level. But I also think that we could set ourselves up to be a little bit better prepared. Azumov is interesting. Azumov is one of our stronger Pokemon, and I don't think he's weak to fighting types. He is not. So stats are kind of medium. Well, let me rephrase. As an offensive powerhouse, he's very, very strong. He has a really high special attack. The problem is that his speed, that he's just so slow. We could consider using him in the battle. My primary concern is just that he's going to get outsped and just one-hit KO'd by that Machamp by the end of the battle. So we really are going to kind of want Pokemon that can take that. We can consider yeah, I'm kind of off it right now. I'm not really sure. I think the Shine is certainly defensible. It's going to be a fast Pokemon. We'll want to utilize it. And it does have Sucker Punch, so that's something. Those are both pros, I think. Although we'll want to find somewhere that we can get some speed EVs, because we want this thing to be as quick as possible when it's ready to battle. The other alternative is Blue. So Sandslash is not as strong of a Pokemon as some other choices out there. In fact, let me pull up its stats just so we can kind of investigate. Sandslash. Okay, so the good old-fashioned Sandslash, the one from the Kanto region, it has 65 speed, which means on the beach it's going to be doubled, so it will be faster than the opposing Pokemon. Its attack is 100, defense is 110 base, although it has a negative nature. So that means that it's going to, on average, it's going to probably be about the same, I would say. Attack and defense-wise. It is weak to ice, so that is something to bear in mind. So that's not good. However, it will pick up... Just kind of like looking through its move list here. Yeah, I'm really just on the fence here. I don't really have a direction. So let's take a look at it. I realize this isn't very stimulating because you guys can't see what I'm looking at, but I'm going to do my best to narrate. So yeah, it'll be faster than the Machamp. Should be, all things considered equal. So let's take a look at its moveset and kind of figure out where we're at. Standard level up. So, moves of note. It does pick up Sand Tomb. On the beach, Sand Tomb is going to lower accuracy every turn that it's active. So it's not a particularly accurate attack, but it's something that we might be able to Miza win with. Slash, of course. Dig, of course. Gyro Ball is not something that I'm really interested in. It does pick up Sword Stance at 43. And Earthquake at 53. So, that could work out. I mean, we would kind of be leaning on it to do its best to like sweep as good as possible or as strongly as possible. We could. The thing is though is that because it's a ground type, it's going to be weak to that ice attack, which is really a bummer. Like it does not have any beneficial resistances for this fight. But it will be faster, so that's something to keep in mind. I guess it's just a matter of like, do we value that speed over over everything else? And do we think that Sand Tomb is a move that's worth trying on the beach, given that it is so weak? I believe it actually has a minor strength buff, but even then, it's still pretty weak, and it's fairly inaccurate, which is the real kicker. So like it's super sketch, I think, if we try to utilize it. So let's check Blue's move stats really quick. Magnitude, Swift, Fury Swipes, Fury Cutter. We could try and... Because I think that we want to use the Telluric Seed on the grass type, on Caesar, when we do jump into the fight. I guess it's just a matter of, do we think that this Sandshrew is going to be better long term? I think that the Sandshrew... I don't know. Let's check just before we make a final decision as to it, as to what we're going to be leveling up here. Let's take a look at Diglett and Dugtrio and just double check what their base speed is, because I think that should influence our decision. Because if Dugtrio is going to be just faster than Machamp on average, I think that means that we want to use it more often than the Sandslash. And I think it is 120 base speed, wow. 100 attack. So it's just as quick, but its defenses are lower. Actually, the Sandslash would be faster in the sand. Let's double check Dugtrio's moveset, though, just to double check and see what we're rocking with. So it would get Bulldoze, Sucker Punch, Mud Bomb, Earth Power, which I think it already has. So Dig at 35, Slash, Earthquake at 47. Huh. That's interesting. Also, I guess something to bear in mind. We do have Seaking, and Seaking does have Horn Drill. I'm kind of curious if Seaking is faster than Machamp. So, if Seaking is faster than his Machamp, then I think that that opens up the door to kind of Mise it, because it has no guard, which means that Horn Drill can never miss against it. Oh man, but Seeking is so slow. At like 68 speed, this thing is just not doing anything. I would need a Rain Dance up before this was even important. That said, I don't think Machamp's the fastest Pokemon in the world, but I think it's going to be faster than Seeking. Machamp. Machamp's speed is 55. There's actually a possibility I could outspeed that thing with a Seeking. I'm going to double check one more time. But if that's the case, then I could actually consider starting off with Seeking. And then trying to sweep that way. Like, start off with Seeking, get the free one-hit KO. And then he sends out probably Hitmonlee? Or she sends out Hitmonlee? Let's go ahead and kind of figure out what her gym strategy is exactly. Well, not the strategy, but let's just kind of double check the moveset and see what's the most likely switch in. So I think after that she'd probably just go with the Hitmonlee. So we probably don't want to have... And the thing is, like, if we let the Hitmonlee set up, that could be super problematic. I think it's worth considering, though. There's a strong possibility we could just get a free kill off of it, and then we can save the Telluric Seed for something else that we need the one-hit KO for. So... Alright. Let's try that. Let's see if Seeking's going to do the trick. And then if that doesn't work, then I think what we'll have to do at that point is we'll have to go ahead and train up some of the other Pokemon. And see how that goes. I think this is an interesting possibility, and if it does work, I think we could be fairly well set up. So let's save the game first and foremost. And as far as the Telluric Seed is concerned, who do we want to give this to? We could give it to Caesar. Caesar should be okay for that. I think... Speed 77. Speed 93. Alright, there's a possibility that Unagi won't be able to outspeed it, but that should be fine. Do we get... And then we can also consider leveling up Rat Trap later. There's a possibility that maybe we want to give the Telluric Seed to Rat Trap, given that it has Sucker Punch and Crunch. That should be fine. Alright, let's roll with it this way. And kind of see what happens. If you're ready, please take your place. Welcome once more. I return as well, striking in perfect immobility, with all the fury that my soul may harbor. This is Victoria now. The challenger Erica will rematch the gym leader Kiki in a 6-on-6 battle. Either competitor may make substitutions. The battle will end when all 6 of either trainer's Pokemon are unable to battle. Begin. So let's go ahead and see if this Horn Drill strat's going to work out. Nice. What? It can do that? Let's try again. It just doesn't work. Okay, that's kind of lame. Alright, so that's not going to work. Alright, let's try and do this then. If that's not going to work with Unagi, Let's check Asimov's speed. 56, it's slow. But man, it could pack a wallop. Alright, so I think what we'll do in the meantime then is we'll go ahead and we'll go ahead and move away, move some of these Pokemon off. Let's take that item back. And I think what we're going to have to do is we're just going to have to level up some of these Pokemon. Let's go ahead and take Blue for now, which I don't think I have a... I don't think I have a an overview for just yet, but we're gonna make one. And let's see if we can take Ermac as well. Well, do we like Ermac more, or do we like Nefertiti? I think I like Nefertiti for now. So let's go ahead and update our roster. Alright, and then we want to find, yeah, should be fine. So I think, I think this should work out okay. And I do apologize. I know that this is kind of boring when you're just watching me kind of navigate through. So I think while I'm doing that, I'm just going to kind of talk, I guess. That's what people do, right? So yeah. Alright, it's loading. So, yeah. So, not terribly long ago, I guess this is just going to be my anime talking about. So, not terribly long ago, they did release the, kind of the follow-up, or not even a follow-up, I guess like a spin-off, I guess is probably the most accurate term. A spin-off for Sword Art Online. And I must admit I was super sketch on it. I was, like... Sword Art Online is fine, it's okay, but it's just not particularly exciting. Just because, like, I can't help but watch it and just be like, oh man, so much lost potential. Let's see, export as... Yeah, so it just kind of feels like lost potential. So that being said, I was a little bit skeptical to jump on board with the new one out. I think it's called Sword Art Online GGO Alternative or something, or GGO Sword Art Online Alternative or something along those lines. So I was kind of like, yeah, I'm not really like super excited to try this out. But I will say that I've been pleasantly surprised. It's actually not been terrible, surprisingly enough. I think part of the reason that it works has a lot to do with like just not utilizing all of the same characters as before. And I know that sounds really weird because there are certainly some characters that are like iconic in SAO, obviously like Kirito, Asuna, etc. Those are all characters that are certainly beloved by the fans of the series. But I think that there's a lot of problems with those characters in general. Specifically Kirito. Kirito is not what I would define as a well-rounded protagonist. He basically just comes off as video game Jesus most of the time. which is not my favorite iteration of of characterization. He just suffers from like real significant Mary Sue, and it's kind of a bummer, really, because the show had such promise, really, and then for it to just kind of blow it all with like poor writing and poor execution, it's really just nothing short of a tragedy. Gotta be honest. Alright, let's go ahead and size that down. And let's go ahead and find an overlay for our blue Sandshrew. I'm beginning to see a problem with trying to find a image of a blue Sandshrew without it actually being the Alolan Sandshrew, which is going to be a problem, I think. And I really don't want to like steal somebody's artwork, which is kind of a bummer. So yeah, I'm going to go ahead and try and find one of those in the meantime. This is a problem. Alright, well, we're just going to go with a regular Sandshrew image until I can get some shiny version. Alright, let's go with a Sandshrew picture. I will work on trying to get a blue version of it so that it corresponds. Export as... yeah. So, let me kind of, I guess, talk a little bit about why it is that I think that SAO fails as a series. I think that the pacing of the series is a little bit weird, and part of that has a lot to do with the way that the original source material was written, so that's not really something that they can do very much about, but they still could have improved on it significantly, because I think that when you're adapting a series from like manga or from a short story to a animation, I think that it's important that you take some liberties with the way that things are described or the way that things happen, because I think that it's up to you to really utilize your medium to get the best result possible. I think a show that does this really well is like that's currently airing is I would say My Hero Academia. I think that My Hero does a really great job of not just using like source material, but like actively improving on it. You know. Copy image address. It actively improves upon it. And what do I mean by that is that, yes, it does utilize a lot of the original panels, but it doesn't just utilize the panels. It adds things to it to make those scenes mean more. I think in like the last episode even, they didn't so much add panels, but what they did is they actually rearranged some of the panels, the ordering, such that it actually just made more sense. It kind of like took away the comedy beat and made it seem more scary, I guess. So, and it's kind of maybe hard to visualize this, but so I'll do my best to kind of paint a picture with words. So there was a scene in the last episode of My Hero where let me just go ahead and just go ahead and open up the Sand Shrew, and that way we can kind of get underway while we start grinding a bit. Cool. That'll do for now. Alright. Alright, so we're gonna go ahead and switch. I guess first and foremost we'll want to start grinding Nefertiti up. So let's go ahead and do that first. Where would be a good place to grind it? Ideally we want Pokemon that it can actually fight. So let's try and find like a Pukamuku on the beach or something. Oh, looks like they're all gone during the nighttime. Or maybe I just hunted them to extinction, that's also possible. Alright, well let's head to the fire cave and see if that does the trick. I don't think those will be great EVs for it, but it should be okay. So where was I? Alright, so setting the stage. So my hero is, I guess, for those of you who don't know, and I apologize if you haven't seen the show or don't care about anime, because the next little bit's going to be me talking about it unless somebody pops into the chat. So my hero, for those of you who don't know, it's a show that's primarily about, it's a world where like superpowers are kind of the norm. So in that, oh, by the way, spoilers for my hero, for anybody who cares about that sort of thing. For anybody who doesn't, just stick with me. So it is a show that is largely about... Can I take this thing on? I assume so. Oh, great, I'm immune to... I think it's immune to burn, so I'm just going to Shadow Sneak it. Am I completely immune? It must have a fire attack. I think that... Alright, well, we'll just kind of keep autopiloting through this. So, My Hero is a show that's about a hero named... well, about a person named Izuku, and he is he's a guy, a normal person, in a world where pretty much everybody has some superpower. In some, like, a superpower in some capacity, right? So, for him, he grew up wanting to be a hero, and finding out that he was never going to develop a superpower was something that was pretty devastating to him as a young kid. But he relented with his dream. He eventually ends up meeting his like childhood hero, a superhero named All Might, and after some things go down, he ends up proving himself to All Might, who then offers to basically hand down his ability, his superpower, to Izuku. And in this show, they're called quirks. So All Might hands down his quirk, which is called One for All, which is basically just like a superpower that just is like super strength, basically. And that sounds kind of unimpressive, but like it's apparently like a super strength power that builds up over time. So each user who gets one, or who gets it, is stronger than the previous. So Izuku gets this power and joins UA, which is like this school for superheroes, where they go to learn the trade, basically. So from here, I wonder how much Shadow Sneak does. I don't think this thing can hurt me. So, anyways, so Izuku has a friend that he grew up with, whose name is Bakugo, and that guy grew up with a pretty powerful quirk and also wanted to be a hero. But he's also like a super aggressive kind of guy, isn't super tactful, so like he comes off as like a bit of an ass, to be completely honest. So Bakugo is a bit of a bully, and he also goes to UA. Now, it's important to note that, like, even though he is a bit of a bully and he's been a bit of a dick to the main character for the majority of their childhoods, I believe that Izuku still regards him as a friend. And that for Bakugo, it's really more of like a sore point that Izuku is even like with him at all, because for him he feels that like because Izuku is just like a weak person, he feels that somehow it like invalidates his own abilities when it comes to the two characters. Like it's almost like Deku being in the hero program almost invalidates, you know, the struggles that Bakugo has gone through. So it's certainly an interesting dynamic. Alright, I think that's gonna knock it out. The burn will, at least. Nice sizable chunk of EXP. So I don't think... Oh, that's gonna hurt. Wow. Man, I just got wrecked. So one thing I did also notice is I believe that Fire Spin also lowers accuracy. Not every turn, but it's certainly something to keep in mind. I think I'm just going to run away. I don't really want to fight this thing. Alright, well, I guess if we gotta fight it. Do I want to catch this thing? It's what, ground steel, so it's 4 times weak to fighting? That seems kind of bad. I don't know, I'm just gonna kill it. Let's go ahead and switch blue to the front for now until we can get back to the center. Anyway, so the way that the story is kind of played out, it's such that that Bakugo, the rival character, has been kidnapped by this like league of supervillains, with the apparent intention to like turn him over to their side. What they don't realize is that, like, even though he is a bit rash and comes off as a bit of a dick, he is actually somebody who wants to be a hero, just their own way. So, even though they want to try and turn him over to their side, they kind of did an interesting subversion thing where they actually, like, set up a situation where you think, like, oh man, this guy's gonna definitely be the bad guy, right? You think that, you know, oh, this is very similar to Naruto, so these two characters are just gonna end up turning into like rivals. You expect that Bakugo is going to be like the Sasuke type bad guy, right? And what ends up happening is actually a bit different than that, because it turns out that he's actually just like really dedicated to trying to be a hero. He wants to be a good guy, and so even though the bad guys offer him the opportunity to join them and join their cause, he flat refuses and actively like puts up resistance, which I think they weren't really counting on. That being said, though, during this time, Izuku and them they kind of feel like, okay, well, we got to go rescue our friend, even though they were kind of explicitly told not to do that. So they go to try and rescue their friend. Oh, you know who we could go fight? Random thought. We could go try and kill that Ninetales finally, that like level 50 some odd Ninetales. in the other ward. We should go try and do that. I don't know that we're going to be able to do that with our with these weak Pokemon, but it's certainly something to consider. And at the very least, it might like offer some sweet loot. So let's head over to the Pokemon Center over here and see if we can catch up with that guy who has that Ninetales. Because, like, holy moly. Alright, so let's try and get something in the party that's going to actually be able to do some damage. So let's get Gamera in here. Let's swap out Blue for now. Sorry, Blue. I'm kind of interested in having Gamera in the party right now. And then I'm kind of also interested in Unagi right now. Probably over Caesar. Let's go ahead and get Caesar out of here. Anybody else that we want to try and level up during that fight? I think he opens with the Ninetales, so we don't really want to go too deep. Cheeky would be good, but he's already such a high level, I don't want to risk him over-leveling. I think our guys are kind of under-leveled for that fight, to be honest, but I'm willing to kind of see it through. Maybe we can... I'm trying to think who would be good for fire resistant. We're fighting the fire type guy. We could try and use Dirty Dirty instead. He's a higher level at least, even though his stats are weaker. Which is kind of funny. I don't really want to utilize Garlic Jr. because he's weak to fire, and that's not going to be a great time. I'm trying to think. Is there any chance that we want Sagiri in this? Nah. Alright, let's go ahead and see how that pans out. I think it was over on the other side, though. Alright, let's save up. Alright, so currently we're leading with Nefertiti. I think we should probably lead with something else. Let's lead with Unagi just to be safe. Alright, let's see how this goes. Maxwell, you guys are here, and with so few. It's you, isn't it? You're their new ace, so be it. You're supposed to take me out, right? But if I turn the tables on you, they've got nothing. The conflict between Aqua and Magma has been rehashed long enough. It's over now. For glory, baby! Bam! Alright, let's try this out. Magma Kingpin Maxwell. And it's raining out? Oh wow, this should be much easier. Oh, but the drought changes it. Weather create a rainbow, what the heck? Alright, well let's just waterfall it. Alright, this actually shouldn't be too bad. I think the last time we tried to fight this thing, it was pretty rough. burned. That's really bad. I don't think I'm going to live through this attack. Alright. So be it. What does the rainbow field do? Alright, let's take a look here. The secondary chance of all moves is doubled. Special normal moves, including special moves used by Pokemon Normalize, increase their base power. Sleeping Pokemon recover extra HP. Moves with extra power. Silver Wind, Tri-Attack, Aurora Beam, Judgment, Hidden Power, Secret Power, Weather Bell, Heart Stamp, Moon Blast, Zen Headbutt, Dark Pulse and Shadow Ball and such are weaker. Cosmic Power and Meditate are better. Sonic Boom is stronger. Alright, Alright, so I think that just, like, as long as we have something that has, like, a special ability, that should be something that we want to do. So let's go ahead and switch in Gamera. And let's try and Body Slam. Come on, hit. Ah. Alright. Let's see how much this does. Alright, that's actually doable. We just need this confusion to end. Alright, so we're trying to paralyze it. Nice. So now that it's paralyzed, we can body slam it to death. And this actually will be really good experience for this for this Gamera here. Nice. Healthy bit of experience. Nice, nice. Charmeleon. I think we can actually just keep Gamera in. And I think we'll Iron Defense. Ancient Power. Oh, that's not good. Okay, so we'll actually probably want to swap out then if that's what it's doing. So let's send in Liberty Prime. It should be able to take the... Oh, it has Dragon Rage too. That's kind of a problem. Let's Confuse Ray just to take care of that. Alright, so let's Super Potion. Nice. So he faded the attack. So let's go ahead and try an Extra Sensory at this point. Oh, we just got predicted pretty hard though. That's pretty rough. Alright, so let's send in Simeon. I expect a fire attack, so Simeon should be able to take that. Faint attack. Okay. Either way, it should be fine. So let's go ahead and close combat. We should be able to outspeed it. Okay, well we didn't, but it missed, so that works out just fine. Nice. So this is going to split the experience between Simeon and Liberty Prime. Alright, so let's swap in Nefertiti here. Now, and we're just going to swap out Nefertiti right away. So let's go ahead and bring in Simeon again. And we're going to try and take this thing down with like a close combat or something. And see if this does the trick. Nice! Alright, it's been a while. We've been trying to take that guy down for quite a bit. So I'm sure that the Aqua Gang will be pretty pleased with us. Curse. Sure, we can make room for Curse. I don't think we need Pursuit. So let's drop Pursuit. Ha! After everything, it's come to this. Huh? Ugh. Magma Game. We'll fall back. For now. Archer. Finally! Magma's nonsense has been put to rest. Great job, de facto. You too, Erica. We'll be heading back to our own territory now. Hopefully unbothered by these crooks. Come see us soon. What is this? Is it just garbage? It looks like something important, but I guess it's not. Alright, well, let's go meet back up with Archer. We should probably heal up, though. Kind of unfortunate that Seeking took a bit of a beating there. Erica, you performed exceedingly. I think it's time to present you with something. You're one of us now. You've earned this. Oh, I got a Carvana. Yes. Female Carvana. Let's go with Jaws. Boring, I know, but... Think of it as the Aqua Gang's mascot. Take care of it, okay? We'll see you around. Alright, well, we got a Carvana. Unfortunately, it's not going to be particularly good for the gym. Being a dark type and all. But we can still check out stats. It has rough skin, so that's not bad. Level 30, certainly reasonable. Let's check out its stats. So, Quiet raises special attack, lowers speed. That's not great on a Carvana. Swagger, has Ice Fang and Destiny Bond. So this is a good move, certainly. Swagger isn't bad either. Yeah. Bad nature, but, you know, so be it. What's in this building? I don't know if I've ever been in here before. Oh. I saw it with my own 2 eyes. No doubt that's the one who walked out after taking my Pokemon. I'm afraid you're mistaken, lady. See, we already know you were a target of the conflict between Aqua and Magma gangs. And see, we already have all their profiles on record. And I can tell you for a fact this person isn't among them. Doesn't even look the type. Now listen, Miss Crodberry. You can't just go accusing any stranger who happens to walk into your house. You're calling me a liar? How dare you insinuate such a thing, you ungrateful, wretched bum? I want to talk to your superior. No, I'm going to write a letter. And you'll be fired, and then you'll starve to death. God, what has this city gone to? Shit, utter shit, that's what I... No wonder things are blowing up here and there and everywhere. The authorities are a bunch of common crooks, scum, bile, snakes. Officer, oi. No wonder the others insisted on drawing straws as you had to take this case. Poor guy. Oh my god, lady, shut up. Your city lives! Decades it's thrived on your protection. Treat us like garbage. That's what this city is. The city of garbage. So what do you want? Go on, do it. I want to affect the city of slime, the city of filth, the city of putrescence. Boo, boo. Rubbish, muck, filth, slime. Boo, boo, boo. Does she keep doing it? Yeah, she does. Poor lady. Losing her mind. Also, we totally stole her Pokemon. Really sorry about that. That woman is nuts. Don't worry, you're not really a suspect. Look, that was kind of a stressful thing for both of us. I'm really not a fan of blaming innocents. Do you want to take this as an apology? Oh, we got the bike! My brother works at the cycle shop up here. He gives us that for a present for my little girl. Unfortunately, she didn't survive the whole mess and barrel. She was reading in her room and then the plants broke through the wall. She was... Never mind. I don't want to think about it. Please, just take this off me. Sorry. Oh, we got a bike. We're gonna get a bike. Good day. Welcome to the Lapis Luxury Bike Shop. Can I interest you in purchasing one of our top-of-the-line models with a lifetime guarantee? Yours for a mere 100 million Pokédollars. Oh, you have a voucher. Strange. The only one I gave out was for... Right. Why don't I just take that for you? And here you go. Yay, the bicycle. Enjoy. Let's go ahead and register it. That said, I don't actually remember the key to... What's the registered item button? F5? Can we map that somewhere else? Let's map that to C. I don't see any... Oh, yeah, I guess that's a problem, right? Let's map it to Q then. Also shift, I guess, is the button as well. Oh man, this beat is sick though. Wonder if they have nice stuff over here. Eh, not really. Hey, you know what? My Pokemon used a mist attack the other day and it totally fogged up. It was so thick that it replaced the terrain itself. Huh. Nifty. I guess we can go check out the, No, I guess we should probably head back to the mountain. It has the highest level, like, Pokemon that we can find at this point in time, so it's not really gonna benefit us if we delay that leveling all that much. It's been a while since I've been in here. Obsidian Salon, how may we service you? Oh, Soothbell. Okay. Man, I feel like I went through a lot of these areas and did not really do a lot of exploring. Not the way that I needed to, anyways. What is this? The Devon Corp, I think? Oh, that's right. They had specialty balls here. Well, we don't really have the money for that right now. Alright. Yeah, that's the cotton candy place. Alright, well, at least the biking's a bit faster. I can't hurt that thing with Unagi. So let's send on Nefertiti instead. Alright, let's try and Will-O-Wisp it. Alright, so anyways, so I guess I kind of got off topic when it came to my hero, but the long and short is that the last episode was really great, and I think that it added a lot of scenes. And I'm super excited for the upcoming fight with All For One, which is like the main bad guy in that series. I don't know that the Sandy Gas can actually hurt me. Not that I do a lot of damage to it either. Why don't I just curse it? That should kill it much faster. And also I can consider actually, with Nefertiti I can actually consider doing that to try and beat the, oh, it is Mega Drain, that's kind of a problem. Why don't I go ahead and just heal it up? That way it kind of lets it absorb the most amount of experience possible. I don't actually know what level this thing evolves at. I imagine soon, though. As far as I went through so much of the fight and only just now started using Mega Drain. I don't know, I think that there's also a possibility that I do want to actually utilize Gamera after all. He's not resistant, but he has fairly high stats, and I think that he's pretty strong. There's also a possibility we could burn with it, so there's that. I think that Dusclops also is pretty strong contention. Alright, so let's go ahead and try and see if it can take out the Noibat on its own. Yeah. Other anime that's been super great lately has been the new Steins Gate that's out. Been super pleased with the way that that's been going. I was really concerned when they announced it. I gotta be completely honest, because I think that, you know, when you have something that can be considered a masterpiece, and I do think that the original Steins Gate is a masterpiece, you know, when they announce like a sequel to it, or a prequel, or whatever you want to call it, or a spin-off even, there's always a concern that they're going to, like, it's going to lose whatever made it great in the first place. And I'm really pleased to let everybody know that if you are a fan of the original Steins Gate, you will love this. From beginning to end, every episode feels like just a series of body blows that you know, it hits all the beats that it needs to, for lack of a better phrase. So Steins Gate, if you don't know, so I'll try not to spoil anything in the show, but basically it's it's kind of like a time travel story. So basically it centers around a Japanese guy named Okabe Rintaro. He is like around college age, like probably in his early 20s or something. And, you know, goes to college, and like his real passion is like tinkering with stuff, right? Like he just likes to mess around with things, you know, like open up toasters, build like his own devices, whatever, right? And he self-styles himself as a mad scientist in this series. So what does that mean to him? It's a good question. He does it, I guess, largely as I won't say as a joke, but like, you know, he definitely like plays up the mad scientist role. So what happens is during this series, him and his buddy, they accidentally turn their microwave into a time machine, or at least it's a machine that's capable of sending messages to the past. And so he then utilizes this this device to start, you know, trying to mess with things, and from there, it turns into this semi-complicated time travel story. But I will say that while the first episode's kind of slow, the fact that the whole thing comes full circle is just fantastic. Easily one of my favorite shows of all time, and I think that it's really good. So this current series is like is, I guess, I won't say a spin-off, but it's certainly very, you know, it is a how to put it. I'm trying to think of how to put it without by explaining it. Alright, I'm gonna potion again. I actually have enough of these such that I don't really mind to blow them here. Alright, not too bad. I could try and fight him a cargo. Oh, but I don't have Caesar with me. Darn. I wonder if I can go battle this Pokemon in the Grand Hall again. I know the Grand Hall had some trainers in it. I wonder if I can go battle them again. If I can, that seems like it would be probably an efficient way of leveling up, since trainers tend to give more experience anyways. Let's try that. Yeah, I like that idea. Because, like, yeah, I could battle wild Pokemon, but I think that if my goal is to level up, is to like power level as quickly as possible, I'll definitely want to level up differently. Alright, well, let's go ahead and heal up, and I think what we'll want to do is we'll probably want to start Gamera and Nefertiti, and we'll keep the other Pokemon in the party just as, like, backup, I guess. Although Liberty Prime we could probably swap out, but that's fine. I'm not going to worry too much about the overview while I'm doing this. I think that it's more important that we just, kind of power through these battles. Let's go ahead and see what we can do here. And also I'm kind of curious when Duskull actually evolves. It's gotta be soon, though. I can't imagine it's much more than, like, 35 or something. 37, wow. Okay. Let's take a look at Dusclops, though. It ends up getting Pressure instead of Levitate. Arguably a worse ability, but, you know, what am I going to do? We'll pick up Shadow Ball at some point. That's pretty strong. Hex at 40. Which does more damage if they have a status condition. That could be good, but I think Shadow Ball's gonna, on the whole, just be better. Alright, let's throw down. So I'm kind of curious as to whether or not this is intentional or not. Like, whether or not we're supposed to be able to battle these guys over and over again. I feel like Gamera could probably just take on this battle by itself. Nefertiti, on the other hand, is looking a little squishy at this time. Alright, we'll be getting there soon. Yikes. Let's get Rat Trap in here, just to take a little bit of the heat off. Let's go ahead and try and burn this Togetic. Yikes! Oh, that's a bummer. Well, that did the trick. Ow. That hurt. I think we can send it back in Gamera, though. That should KO. Oh wow, lucked out there. Alright, not bad. Shell Smash. So I believe Shell Smash raises its stuff. I think that I could probably Nyx Endure. I don't really see myself utilizing this move all that often. Whereas, like, I could hypothetically Shell Smash to try and set up. Kind of a bummer about Nefertiti, though. Let's see about this guy. Oh. Yikes. Bummer. Alright, we need to be a little bit more careful with that that dark resistance. Let's flamethrower. I don't know how much damage this is gonna do. Sure. That hurt quite a bit. I'm not gonna lie. So much so, in fact, that I think I want to switch into Liberty Prime because I'm anticipating another Psychic. Well, that's kind of a bummer. Why is this Zatu so fast? Alright, come on, one time. Well, that's not good. Let's just use this opportunity to go ahead and Super Potion up the Gamera. Alright, I mean, luckily this is not going to be fast. Alright, please hit it. Of course not. Alright, let's just send Eradicate. It's gonna... There you go. Alright. Sneeze away. Let's send back in Gamera. Oh yeah, that should just KO it on the spot. Alright, not bad, not bad. I think I could have done better, though. The fact that Nefertiti got KO'd right away is kind of a bummer. Alright. Let's try this one again, and then I think we're going to call it for the evening. Alright, well, Nefertiti lived. That's good. Oh, thank goodness that Nefertiti lived through that. I would have been kind of mad. Let's swap out. Let's swap the ghost out for, I should test out Shell Smash, though, and see exactly what it does. Gamera has just been paralyzed forever. In hindsight, this is maybe not the best idea. Alright, I do want to test out Shell Smash though and see how that does. Maybe I could try it against this guy. Defense fell. Special defense falls. Attack rises sharply. Special attack sharply up. Speed sharply up. Okay. Alright, that's something I could definitely get on board with. Okay, that does a lot of damage, though. Oh, but I just KO'd it? Sure. But do I outspeed the Sneasel? I don't think I do. Oh, but I still live through it? Wow. Nice. Okay, maybe Gamera has some merit then. Maybe I don't need to go through the trouble of raising up a Duskull just to fight that particular gym badge. Because I think that now that Gamera is getting a little bit more leveling, perhaps it's a little bit more useful. I mean, sure, I'll probably level up Duskull anyways, but I think that Turtonator has some real merit here. Weak to ground, weak to dragon. One time weak to ice, so it just takes a normal hit from ice. It actually has pretty good type coverage. It's only really weak to ground, rock, and dragon, which is not going to be a concern for this particular gym leader. It's really just a matter of, you know, and the fact that it has shell armor means that it'll never take a crit. So I think that we can probably rock Shell Smash for now, and then it picks up Dragon Impulse pretty soon. So I think that'll be fairly good. Because I think it's primarily a special attacker. So, if we're smart, we might be able to predict, because the thing is kind of slow, so it's not going to be sweeping anything anytime soon. But even with that, we still might be able to get some work in with it. Yeah, so let's go ahead and just kind of battle these guys over and over again until we can get some levels in. Alright, so let's Shell Smash Gamera, see if we can like kind of run through this guy. Okay, I like where this is going. Okay. Not bad at all. So I guess after you get a Shell Smash off, it means that Gamera is going to be pretty well set. That might KO it, though. I'm really intrigued. I think that Gamera, if I can get a Shell Smash off, might be pretty good against the fighting gym leader. Cool. Alright. Alright, so let's go ahead and take inventory then. So, currently you're sitting on Turtonator, Gamera. Special attack's not bad. Attack's okay. He's getting a fair bit of special attack from these battles. Defense is not so much. Speed's kind of okay right now. Shell Smash, Iron Defense. So this is kind of a non-bow, but I guess depending on the texture of the battle, we could use one or the other. But I think that Shell Smash is pretty good on it. Certainly, you get one off, and then you can just kind of run through the enemy Pokemon with it. So yeah. So something that I did want to kind of talk about a little bit is dramas. Right, like TV dramas specifically. So, with TV dramas, every once in a while I'll get asked, like, oh, do you watch X show? Or have you seen X show? Right? And for me, a lot of the times I give the same answer, which is no. I don't typically get into those. So, shows like sitcoms, like anything that's like on like ABC, NBC, whatever. I typically avoid those shows, and there's a method behind my madness. It's not just that I, have some, like, hipster thing against it. Legitimately. So here's where I'm at on it. With TV dramas, for me, I don't like getting invested in them because I know that they are not long for this world. It's happened to me more than once, such that you get really invested in a show and just it gets canceled after a couple seasons with no real conclusion. And for someone like me who really values like the storyline and such, it really bugs me that that's the case. Like it really bothers me because like I really want to see the end of those shows. I don't want to just like kind of like have a season finale and that's it. And so, like, every once in a while, like, I will fall for the trap and get really interested and invested in a new drama or whatever, but only to have it canceled after one season. So that really kind of bugs me. I'll talk to everybody else in here. I don't think I have. Oh, so I guess that guy tells you where to go. Stand off, yo. Interesting. Okay. Yeah, so I tend not to get too invested in, like, dramas anymore. There was a time where maybe I would, but nowadays, if I see, like, a new drama in NBC, I literally just ignore it. Even if the premise looks cool. And, you know, it sucks, but I can't stand wasting my time like that. The Link Stone. 10,000 Poké Dollars. How much money do I have? 72,000. I wonder if it's worth grinding a little bit more just to buy that thing. I think that's probably legitimate, right? Like, I could go grind against those trainers. Oh, I just ran past her. I guess let's Shell Smash. I don't think a Pump Kaboo can, Pump Kaboo can really hurt me all that much. Yeah, it is like nothing. Yeah, that wasn't really all that hard. Perhaps it's worth exploring some of the other areas around this bridge to see if maybe there's somebody else who wants to battle. Interesting. Alright, let's see if we can grind up a little bit more money. I think that that's something that's totally reasonable to do. Mostly because I just want a Link Stone. I think it'd be kind of cool if we can evolve Overrun. Alright. I wonder if it's worth double shield smashing Gamera. I think it is. Sure. So my defense is going to be really, really low, so it's going to take hits pretty hard, but I think it should be fast enough at that point, such that it won't matter. Oh, oops. I meant to try and hit the Togetic. Alright, I'm just going to heal up Nefertiti because I really wanted to get the full experience from this. And I'm confident that Gamera should be able to sweep this team at this point. After two slashes, I just can't imagine a scenario where it doesn't. I think now that Gamera is like closer to the level needed to fight this gym leader, I think it'll be a lot more helpful. That's not too bad. That means we only have to battle them 3 more times. So let's go ahead and confuse Jigglypuff first. Alright. So I think after this we should probably prioritize the Togetic since it has Ancient Power, and then after that we can take down the Ivysaur. Kind of just run it back the way that we did just last time. And I think here we'll go ahead and potion up again. Oops. Really hope Nefertiti doesn't go down. I kind of pulled the trigger a little bit sooner than I should have. Alright, let's get rid of Body Slam or Iron Defense. Let's get rid of Body Slam. That might KO Nefertiti. Wow, it didn't. Lucked out there. Nice! So 37, that means that it should evolve. Just one moment. Jeez, took long enough. Yes, let's make room for Shadow Punch. Lands without fail, eh? So, Shadow Sneak always hits first. Curse, lowers its, or cuts my health in half. I think we can skip Curse. I don't anticipate us needing that all that much. And as I recall correctly, I believe Nefertiti's be more of a physical attacker. Yeah, like even with a negative nature and no EVs, they're still almost the same. So let's go ahead and nix that. And let's go ahead and Dusclops. Alright, so, let's go ahead and level up. Great, now I have enough money to go buy a Linkstone. So I'm going to go buy one of those, with the intention of eventually utilizing it. Now, as it happens, I think once we do get a Reaper Cloth, we will be able to actually evolve Duskull. So that's something that we can actually consider. Alright, awesome. So we picked up our first Linkstone. That's pretty cool. Do we have a Reaper Cloth? If we do, that would be really, really good. We have Waterstone, Moon Shard, Blue Shard, or Moonstone. It's been a while since we've been up this way. I guess once I get strength, I'll be able to get past that. Is Woobat good? You know, I hadn't considered it before just now, but is there a possibility that I want to catch a Woobat so I can evolve it? Let's check out Swoobat, because I think there's a chance it might be resistant to fighting twice, in which case, given that it's a special attacker and, yeah, it is double resistant, Swoobat is. Huh. And there's a chance I could get it with Simple. And it picks up Psychic. Oh, and Calm Mind. I like that. You know what? I think this thing is worth catching. I hadn't really thought about it until just now, but I think there's a strong possibility that we'll want a Woobat for our upcoming fight. Alright, let's name it. Let's name it Meatball. So let's go check up and see what it looks like. I think that this is a Pokemon that might be worth leveling. I'm actually kind of excited now. Because it's super resistant to fighting type attacks. I think it's weak to ice, which is kind of a bummer. Yes, weak to ice, weak to rock, weak to dark, ghost. It actually has a lot of weaknesses. But it's kind of quick. I think it needs to love you in order to evolve. But we have a Soothe Bell. Its speed is 115 or something. Its special attack is like 77. So it's clearly supposed to be a special sweeper. But this Pokemon picks up Psychic before level 45. It also picks up Calm Mind at level 29, which is really effective on the beach. Heart Stamp is a reasonably strong move. But let's see, it also picks up Imprison, which I can utilize to try and lock the gym leader out of some moves. It has Air Cutter, which is a special flying attack. I think that might be a good choice. It has Klutz. What a terrible ability. It has a bad ability. I think we're going to need to catch another one. Sorry, Meatball. I think you're just too bad. You're just not enough of what we're looking for. What a bummer. Because the thing is, like, if it was just the ability or just the bad nature, I could deal with it. But the fact that it's both is just so brutal. Alright, so let's go ahead and burn and confuse it. And we'll go ahead and catch another one. And we'll see if maybe we can get a better nature or a better ability or something. Just a Pokeball this time, though. Alright, Meatball 2. Meatball the second. Alright, let's check this one out. Also has Klutz, but is the nature better at least? Plus defense minus special defense. That's also kind of bad. Do all of this. No, some of the Woobats don't have. I'm not usually the kind of person to go catching a bunch of Pokemon to try and find the right nature, but I think that we want to like spend a little bit of extra time to get something that's reasonable. I mean, we're not going to spend time to EV it, but the natures have enough of an effect where I'm going to want to be a little conscious of it. I think we're going to be a little bit impatient, though, and we're just going to throw the Pokeball after we burn it. Alright, Meatball 3. Unaware, finally an ability that isn't garbage. But the nature is really bad. How much do I care about the nature? I mean, certainly the ability is more important. Oh, a shiny one. This I'm really interested in catching. And I think I'm willing to try a Premier Ball. I really hope this thing is like has reasonable stats. It'd be pretty sweet to have a Woobat that has a good shiny. Awesome. Alright, this thing is not Meatball, that's for sure. Oh man, we need a good nickname for a red bat. Do we go with Illblood? No, it's a terrible nickname. Terrible, stupid, stupid, stupid. Do we do Dead Mouse? No, that's terrible. Terrible nickname. Bats. Let's see. Let's see now. We could go with... Oh, we could go with... Go with Batty Coda from Fern Gully. Pretty cool. I think we want something a little bit more metal, though. Oh, man. Man, there's gotta be a good list here somewhere. What if we go with... What if we go with Lestat? Yeah, let's do Lestat. Alright, I really hope this thing is reasonable. Let's see how garbage Lestat is. It's a klutz. Alright, just have a decent nature, please. Docile. You know what? I can almost live with that. Like, it's not a negative nature, at least. Plus, it's shiny. I mean, how sweet is that? Now, I do have a question about the Unaware. About the Unaware nature. So, I think the Unaware ability says that it ignores foes' stat modifications, but what does that mean exactly? Does that mean that it, My question about it, I guess, is... Does that mean that if they, like, Calm Mind, it like, nullifies it? Or, like, does it not track it? I mean, that would be my assumption. So does that mean that it's better that they... That's kind of an interesting question. Because if that's the case, then perhaps it's worth using Meatball 2. Or Meatball 3, rather. Let's just go ahead and release these now. So, upside, let's talk. Meatball the Third, or Meatball 3, has a sassy nature. So its nature is bad, it actively makes it slower. Or we could go with Lestat, who has a bad nature, but the ability is worthless. Or has no nature, rather, but the ability is worthless. That said, Meatball 3 also has overall worse IVs. I think I just have to go with Lestat. Plus Lestat shiny. So, and I think I will do that another time. Oh, man. Oh, cool. And Walrus is hosting. Thank you so much. Alright. So, yeah. Let's go ahead and head back to the beach, shall we? I'm actually somewhat optimistic that even just Gamera being at a higher level will make the difference. I can't know for certain, but I'm hoping that it will. And even just like Nefertiti. Like this Dusclops might actually also do some work, which is kind of exciting. And just for good measure, I want to double check Sharpedo and make sure it is in fact weak to fighting. Yep, sure is. And I don't think it picks up any moves that are particularly great. It's fine. Alright, so let's just double check really quick and see what this Dusclops is going to be like. Alright, Dusclops. So, defensive-wise, it has 101, 110, so it's slow, but good defenses. From a immunity perspective, what is it weak to, what is it resistant to? So it's totally immune to normal and fighting moves. It will take a 1x effective. The only thing that it's weak to is Ghost and Dark. So if we look at Kiki's Pokemon really quick, what does that mean that we're actually weak to? Machamp is going to have Payback. Hitmonlee has Knockoff, Gallade has Night Slash, and Lucario has Hidden Power Dark. So I think that means that we could safely, and I use that in air quotes, safely bring in Nefertiti against Medicham, and be able to try and utilize it. Utilize it there anyways. Because I think every other Pokemon on her team does actually have Hidden Power, or has some sort of Dark move. So, if we do want to use Nefertiti in the gym battle, that's what we're going to be up against. As far as... So that's kind of where I'm at for that. As far as leveling is concerned, we have the option of bringing it up to like level 40, which will give it Hex, but that's a special move, and I'm not really excited to utilize that. Certainly. Other than that, I can really quick just kind of check the Alola Pokedex for Turt and Nova. Man, there are so many Pokemon in the Alola Pokedex. Turtonator, okay. Turtonator, on the other hand, how does Turtonator line up? So, it's only weak to Ground, Rock, Dragon, which means that we cannot bring it in against Gallade, and everything else should be fine. And let's check. Okay, and it has high defense too, comparable to Nefertiti actually. So I wonder if that's something that's worth considering. Like maybe our team against them looks something closer to this. So what if our team looks something like this, where we lead with Caesar, given the Telluric Seed. Right? So you give Caesar the Telluric Seed, and then we'll use him to handle the Hitmonlee and the Machamp. From there, she'll switch to Lucario. We can swap into Simeon, and we should be able to outspeed it. We should be able to outspeed it with Simeon at this point. With a close combat, that should pretty much KO it. From there, it will switch into Toxicroak, possibly, or Gallade. I think that once we get it to switch into Toxicroak, we can kind of safely switch into Cheeky, and then Cheeky should be able to like set up on it fairly well. After that, it's basically just going to be a matter of like we need to find a Pokemon that can sufficiently tank Medicham and not just die in one hit. So I think that means that what we want to do is we want to make sure... And what's Medicham weak to? I know I've looked this up before, but like I always tend to forget. So, Medicham. So, Medicham is actually weak to Ghost. So we could actually try and take it down with Cheeky once we lower its level a bit. And then from there... So yeah, I think that like for now, our goal is going to be to try and make sure that everybody's around level 43. I think that sounds pretty reasonable. So let's move Caesar for now. We're going to go ahead and set him over here. I think that we're going to want to level up Gamera as well as Nefertiti a bit more. We're going to go ahead and move, I guess, the potential stuff that we can utilize later over here. Steve, I just don't think it's ever going to happen again. I'm sorry, buddy. There's a small chance we'll want this guy at some point. Just because we don't really have a lot of flying types. Blue, again, we will possibly use you at some point. I just don't see us using Beatrix either, despite the nature not actually being that bad. The Shine, I think we have a strong opportunity to use that later. Olivier will definitely be leveling up at some point, but I want to spend some time trying to find the right EVs for it, so we can do that kind of off-screen. I don't see us ever utilizing Seltzer. I don't think that's a very good Pokemon. Meowstic, or Ermac rather. Yeah, there's some possibility. There's some world where I do want that. And then Carvana is fine, I guess. The nature wasn't great, but it's, you know, it's a water Pokemon. And then these are Pokemon that I have in my rotation. Alright, so... Alright. So, we definitely have to level up Gamera and Nefertiti here. Let's go ahead and start working on that. And we'll go ahead and keep Rat Trap with us for now. As well as Dirty, I suppose. Dirty. Alright, and... yeah, I think that should be fine. Actually, we can go ahead and get some levels in on Unagi as well. Not because I anticipate that we'll want to utilize Unagi, but just because like we'll want those levels at some point. Alright, so let's go ahead and get Liberty Prime out of here. Alright, cool. So let's hit the mountain. Oh, he sells supplies. That's really helpful, except I have no money. But I can sell stuff. I don't know what the shards are for, but I can get rid of them. Alright, let's head over to the mountain. And see if we can get some extra levels in. Yeah, I think that that'll work well for our team. I think that we'll start with the Telluric Seed, try and take out the first couple of Pokemon with Simisage, and then from there we're going to have to transition. I think the key thing to try and make sure that we can win this fight is to ensure that whatever the last three Pokemon that we utilize, which is going to be Cheeky, Nefertiti, and Gamera, that those Pokemon are more than capable of taking down whatever it is that we need to fight. I think this is probably a good place for Nefertiti to grind of all. It seems like a lot of the Pokemon here have like limited capacity to hurt her. So I think we'll go ahead and call it for tonight. I'm going to go ahead and grind up a little bit off the screen. So that way, by the time we come back on Sunday, we'll be good to go. So thank you, everybody, for joining in. I hope you have a fantastic evening. For those of you on YouTube, of course, please go ahead and follow the Twitch channel. You can catch me at /Vladdviever. For those of you on Twitch, you can catch me on my YouTube channel, also Vladdviever. I'll be streaming every Sunday from here on through the foreseeable future, and just keep a close eye on my Twitter feed. You'll be able to see, see any notice if I choose to, if I go on for an impromptu stream. Hopefully, by the end of this week, we'll be able to, kind of get our Pokemon up to the level that they need to be, and we'll be able to take down the gym leader after that. Thank you, everyone. Great night.